Troops are gone now. The likelihood that they'll go back, you'd have to say, absent a catastrophe, is small. I want to ask you what you think, in part as a former Secretary of State, is the appropriate way for the United States to deal with the Taliban, who now are running Afghanistan. Do you think we should be in contact with them? Do you think we should, if conditions are met, recognize them as a government? If so, what conditions would you see as appropriate ones?
As to the matter of recognition, that's going to be our last card. And I certainly wouldn't play it soon. And I find it hard to believe we would ever actually recognize the government that harbored the people that killed 2,997 innocent souls on our territory. I find that hard to believe. It would have to be an awfully compelling reason to ever do that with the Taliban. Now, I am hoping and praying that what we hear about a new 2.0 Taliban is true. I'm hoping that that all of those years in Doha, that perhaps they are different than they were the brutal people who not only harbored al-Qaeda, but executed women in a soccer stadium given to them by the United Nations. So if they're different, perhaps we can continue to deal with them. We have ways of dealing with countries that we don't recognize through third parties, for instance. Maybe that's one way. We've put ourselves in a position where we have to talk to them because we still have Americans and Afghan allies who've got to get out of the country. And I'm hoping, too, that we can find ways to mobilize the international community to moderate some of what they will do to their own people. But recognition, I just don't see it. I've heard people say, well, we eventually recognized Vietnam. Yes, that was a very different war and very different circumstances. This was a war that they brought to us through their alliance with al-Qaeda. I don't see why we would ever give them that legitimacy.